Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you around the world. Welcome to the daily Trade the Chain crypto update, where we give you everything you need to know for the next 24 hours and hopefully the next few days. Today is Wednesday, October 4th. We are midway through the week. Crypto total market cap mostly unchanged from yesterday. Sentiment ticking up a little bit for Bitcoin and Ethereum. That is good, but Bitcoin and Ethereum slightly down. Not the best day in the world yesterday, but equity staging a bit of a recovery after the open, or actually after dropping after the open, but they are above their opening price. I should say equities indexes are above their opening price. And, crypto is very topsy-turvy, I would say. You got some big price gainers, Divi, BTU, CHSB, TWT, OMI. And then you got some big losers like Ray, Bake, Go, Storage, ETN. I saw Matic was dropping as well. Hottest on Twitter, definitely very interesting, large moves, but nothing crazy. AVAX with their new SocialFi platform doing pretty well. And then, we did have a lot of stablecoin inflows, 100 million came in, we had some drip out. So mostly net on that side of things. And then Storage, biggest exchange net flow, about 0.5%. But there's a couple others, MXCs, or they're all down. Typically, when we see coins added to exchanges, that is a bit of a bearish signal. But sometimes they will coin margin long if they see a bunch of people getting short on the exchange addition. So that's also something to keep in mind if you are a bull. So let's move forward and check out what's going on with DXY. We are pulling back a little bit. If we drop beneath this level, which it looks like we're accepting back in. We are probably going to drop down to this 105, 106 level. So kind of put a little circle right here. It doesn't have to go all the way down, but probably likely to, kind of pull one of these. So that's what we're expecting there. But, if we do end up, closing above this level today, then I would expect, bearishness from risk assets and for, something like that to occur. But right now, let's get rid of this line. This looks to be the most likely, outcome for DXY, at least in the short term. So let's move over to equities, which are, like I said, staging a bit of recovery, opened, immediately shot down, had a, I guess we're going to call this a complex pullback. We're now back up to the weekly VWAP. So we did, we held the 42.35 level, jumped up to 42.55. Now the bet was, for how we're looking at things level to level, above 42.55, and we will jump up to 4,300. And then this is a big area because 1 hour estimated 200 moving average, got some resistance here, traded around this level, obviously a lot. So maybe we end up, getting back up to the 42.35 level because, a lot of trading as well up here. Bit of a demand zone, but, let's take it one step at a time. Above 42.56, probably going to grab 4,300. Above 4,300, then you can start talking about those levels up there. So very simply, and then obviously if we get rejected here, let's get rid of some of these lines. So obviously these are stale. If we get rejected from here, then whoop, right back down there, and then whoop, right back down there. So those are the two levels to watch out for if we do get rejected. But does look like acceptance is probably going to happen. But of course, markets never have to listen to what we say. So let's look at Bitcoin. And I will say this is pretty good reversal pattern, in my opinion. Definitely inverse head and shoulders here. So definitely something that you want to see. We held the 27.3 level. We had the 27.2 tap, 1 hour estimated 200 moving average down here. So it's holding above that. And if we zoom out, when it is above this trend, things are going well. So bulls definitely want to see this continuing. Let's get rid of some of these lines because obviously not entirely pertinent right now. But basically the main area that you want to look out for first is right up here at the 27.6, 27.7 level. So basically if you can get above this high from Tuesday, then you can start talking about much higher. So you do have this weekly VWAP to contend with, but since it's kind of, in a nice little air gap up here, I would say you can more or less ignore that, or that can be kind of maybe a first take profit target. But if we do get above the 27.6, 27.7 level, I would say, very much due for 28K, 28.1. And then, we do have the Monday high all the way up here. So, 28.5, 28.6. So this is the Monday range still, that we're looking at 27.3. Actually, I don't know why this isn't exact. So let's move this down a little bit. So here's the Monday low. This is the Monday high. So obviously we swept the Monday low yesterday. We're above it, kind of went down here to test some liquidity, obviously jump back up. So things are looking a little bit better for higher. People are definitely a little bit worried with this drop down here, but I would say that is a very solid bounce. That's exactly what you want to see. So things are looking good. Maybe take profit target around 27.8. Once you start to get in the 28K level, right around here, you are going to start seeing shorts come in, but that doesn't mean that you can't, still grab some liquidity up here. So best, in my opinion, if you are long and you are targeting above 27.7, above 27.8, definitely watch out for this 28K area, as this is where problems for your trade are more than likely to come in. So be conscious of that possibility. Looking at ETH, you're going to see a bit of a similar, but definitely weaker than Bitcoin. And we did drop below, but definitely deviation. We didn't break the Tuesday low, so that's something to consider. We are still trading in the Monday range, Monday low, Monday high. And considering that we did not sweep the Tuesday low, but we yet again swept the Monday low, we are now recovering back under it. So deviation. So what bulls definitely want to see is, we need to get up here to the 1655 level. 1655. And, obviously we've got this high to contend with. So what we've been doing is we've been making lower highs. And so from a market structure perspective, you got lower lows and you got lower highs. And this is kind of a higher low, but, still more or less equal with these candle bodies. So what you need to do for bullish market structure, which means, actually breaking up and moving higher up to 1680 or higher, is the first thing you need to do is beat the previous lower high. So we need to break above this level, form a bottom, a local bottom right here, and then lift up. And then that is your lower low. And that's your higher high, right? So your market structure is now shifted. So once you form that higher high and higher low, then that market structure shifted and you're likely to move higher. So that's kind of the first trigger. And I'd say Bitcoin is definitely better long than ETH. Looking at it, I mean, maybe not, diving into these longs right now, but definitely better, prospect, in my opinion, Bitcoin is than ETH. But if ETH does form bullish market structure, let's check out ETH BTC, which has obviously been beaten down pretty hard. We're back near the same lows that we were at yesterday after recovering. So, maybe ETH, again, ETH BTC again sweeps this level and jumps back up here. Not saying that's going to happen, but it's certainly something to watch out for. Anytime you sweep the Monday low, it's typically at least some sort of bullish relief. So it doesn't mean we will sweep it, but obviously if we drop back under and then pop back up, that's a sweep. So that's something to watch out for on the ETH side. Obviously ETH is weaker. There's no doubt about that. I told you Bitcoin definitely looking like a better trade. But again, if we get some bullish market structure out of ETH, there is a possibility that will end up heading, higher, possibly a higher rate than Bitcoin, because it made time with that sweep of the ETH BTC low. So definitely want something like this to happen for ETH. And then if we get rejected, kind of right around this level right here, which is we marked as critical, we'll likely form another lower low. And I would say that, 1620 level is a good place for potentially, shorting up here, targeting down here, maybe a first profit right here. So you've got your long on a bullish market structure break. And then you've got a short on a rejection of the bullish market structure break. So very clear. And that is, of course, only if we make it up here. If we get shot back down, it becomes a lot more tough. And then, we still have to deal with this sketchy little low down here, messing with possible short opportunities. So ideally, if you are someone who, wants to trade level to level, wants to trade the charts, look for something that is clear to trade. I would say definitely what you want to look for is at least getting back up to the 1655 level, maybe 1660. So, because obviously if you form this above 1660, it gets even better because you just broke over two lower lows. So, that's the current outlook for that. The one thing that you need to watch out for later this week is the unemployment rate. It's expected to drop. Remember, Jerome Powell specifically said in the last FOMC meeting, I'm paraphrasing, but an inflation or unemployment rate under 4% is not good for the Fed's goals. And if this is continually dropping, that is not good for the Fed's goals. But, and ADP employment was a bit stronger than anticipated this morning. I'm sorry, I had initially thought that it was lower from what I heard on CNBC, but seems like they're tricking me. And that's why you always check the data. So, we were expected to have 150,000 jobs. We had 177,000 jobs. That is not what the Fed wants to see. That does spell, a possible beat for unemployment, which is not good. We want to miss for unemployment. I know it's extremely annoying having to deal with this kind of data, but what you want is for unemployment to come in higher than expected for markets to perform well. If this is 3.7 or lower, I do have a feeling that we're going to have a bad Friday and possibly a bad weekend, which is why, I think a lot of people are hopeful for a snap back today, because if Bitcoin can get up this 28K level by Friday, maybe even higher, and unemployment comes in bad, then we'll have shorts, from the top. And so that's definitely a better trade than shorting a crappy range that's just hanging out in a $500 area. So that is the outlook for now. We'll of course, have to see how things play out towards the end of the week. Bulls definitely want to see some new market structure formed, and I think with a higher low right here, definitely a possibility. But we do need to make that higher because we are technically at a lower high right here compared to the high from late Monday into Tuesday. So fingers crossed we do get a push, because I think that would be it's a good Monday range trade. Remember, Monday low, Monday high. If we swept the Monday low, so hopefully we sweep the Monday high. It's just a very clear and clean trade. And then of course, like I said, on Friday, maybe we short everything back down on a double top or a lower high macro. Because if we let me get some of these. Let me just give you. This is what you want to see if you're kind of a level to level Monday range trader, just playing things very technically. This is exactly what you want to see. Boom, 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 up here, and then lower high back down. So lower high right here, or an equal high, which is what we call a double top. And then so one of those would knock it back down. Maybe it's not as clean as this. But it would imply, lower price action. And then from the wider perspective, if we form an equal low or a higher low, then you would long that possibly back up, or then maybe that just kind of gets us into a really ugly triangle. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself for the way that I typically trade. But you can see how these things form, and that's kind of how you're making your plan. If we form some bullish market structure but form a lower high, I'm going to short. If we form bullish market structure and break the high, then I'll look for new longs, on a retest of the previous highs. And so it's just very simple, simplistic trading styles that'll kind of alleviate some of your anxiety and help with a little bit of decision making, because you've got a plan in place that you can then attack if the opportunities present itself. And then, like I said, if we just end up rejecting here, it definitely becomes a little bit tougher, because we could just form another higher low and then jump up. So as long as we're above this level, we're making higher highs, and that's what you want to see if you are a bull right now. And then if we break below this level, it's a lower low, and then market structure shifts a little bit. So things are looking good right now, but I could literally walk away for an hour and this this one good hourly candle reverses. So I don't want to jinx it. But right now, this is what you want to see for some possible bullish continuation into Thursday, possibly into Friday. So that being said, good luck, happy trading. And again, if you're not in the TTC community, 14 days free at www.tradethechain.com. If you want daily insights, trade ideas, updates, market info, macro news info, charting on demand, everything you want, TTC has the answer. So speak to everybody soon.